Hi and welcome back to Northants Wargamers on the Road. My name's Barry and today we're showing the final from UK Games Expo 2019 for the Nationals of Age of Sigmar Champions. It's between Mike Pfeffier on the left and Jack Lambourne on the right in a Rotigus Rainfather showdown. In the last video we saw Mike Pfeffier defeat James Curtis with a Sylvaneth hybrid deck, and James Lambourne won a Rotigus Rainfather mirror match against David Lester. This match is going to look a little different due to Jack using pen and paper to track the health of both players. You are allowed to do this, but it just makes my job a little bit harder. Sorry about the glare on the cards. The spotlights of the NEC were playing havoc, and hopefully I've got all the cards right. So without further ado, let's get it on. For Mike, we have Herald of Nurgle, Blood Reaver Chieftain, Rotigus Rainfather and a Chaos Champion. And for Jack we have Blood Reaver Chieftain, a second Blood Reaver Chieftain, Chaos Champion and Rotigus Rainfather. So slightly different builds. And let's see how it turns out. So Mike starts off, 1 health gain for Rotigus Rainfather. We're going to be seeing that lots today. And follows that up with a Fearless Korgorath doing 2 damage. First quest done on that Blood Reaver Chieftain. Mike then draws a card, so it's Jack's go. So Rotigus Rainfather gains a health. And then follows up with the Gorslick Skull Reaper doing 1 rend damage. So then Jack draws a card. So Mike's going to heal that damage that the Gorslick Skull Reaper does. So the 1 bits of damage like this Fearless Korgorath's doing is not really going to affect Rotigus whatsoever. Second quest done on that Blood Reaver Chieftain though. It's when the Chaos players start playing their high damage events. That's when we'll really start seeing the damage go through and their blessings. So Rotigus Rainfather for Jack gains 1 health. Gorslick Skull Reaper rotates, does no damage. So Jack draws 2 cards. Over to Mike. Rotigus heals 1. There we go. Up to 35. Can't gain any more. Fearless Korgoraths leave play. They've done their job. Stopping that Blood Reaver Chieftain from questing. And we have a Fanatical Skull Fiend going into play. 1 damage dealt to himself. Third quest done on that Blood Reaver Chieftain. Followed up with the Furious Strike. Let's see what's under that blessing. There we go, so we've got Anrahir's Claw, so 2 damage from Anrahir's Claw, followed up by 4 damage from Furious Strike. So I'm just tracking Jack's health with the red marker on the screen. So Rotigus Rainfather, he's going to heal for 1. Gorslick Skull Reaper's going to do 3 rend damage. And second quest done on that Blood Reaver Chieftain at the top. We've got a Rejoicer Slaughter going into play, so if Jack removes any of his own cards, then he'll draw 2 cards. So Putrid Offering going into play, so he's going to deal 2 damage to Mike. He's going to gain 2 health from Putrid Offering. The Last Stand is going to trigger from Gorslick Skull Reaper doing another 2 damage, and he's going to draw 2 cards from Rejoicing Slaughter. So nice little combo there. Mike heals 1 with Rotigus Rainfather. Does 3 damage with Anrahir's Claw and 3 damage with Fanatical Skull Fiends. So the damage is getting ramped up now. Rotigus can only heal 1 a turn, so this is where he starts feeling the effect. Mike's just having a little think about what to do. Goes in with the Blood Fury Wrathmonger. 2 damage to Jack and 1 damage to himself. First quest done on that Chaos Champion. Draws a card. So Rotigus Rainfather, he's going to heal himself. Oh, no, he's going to deal the damage, sorry, because now he's engaged. So is Jack going to remove another unit to gain the benefit of that Rejoicing Slaughter? So we've got a Fearless Coolgrass going into play. 2 damage to Mike. Can't deploy anybody under that Herald of Nurgle. So we've got Blood Hunt, so it takes away the Fanatical Skull Fiend. 2 damage to him. It's going to deal 2 damage with the last stand, but he's going to heal 1. But he gets to draw 2 cards with that Rejoicing Slaughter. Over to Mike. 3 damage with Anarchy's Claw. 2 damage with Blood Fury Wrathmongers. 1 damage to himself, and Rotigus will heal for 1 as well. Gorslick Skull Reaper goes into play, 1 Ren damage. And then Mike draws a card. So over to Jack. So Rotigus deals 1 damage. Fearless Coolgrass are going to deal another damage. So Mike's got a healthy lead at the minute. So we've got a Furious Strike going into play. Reveal the Blessing. We get a Gaze of Nurgle. So Jack can either deal 6 damage to Mike or heal 6. So he's going to have a little bit of a think about it and then decide what to do. So he's going to gain 6 health. Then Furious Strike will go off, so 4 damage. So they are even Steven after all that exchange. Jack's still got 1 more action. So Eyes of the Nine going into play. He's the only player playing with the new Warband pack. So 1 health back from Rotigus Rainfather. Gorslick Skull Reaper does nothing. 2 damage from the Blood Fury Wrathmongers and 1 damage to himself. And then Mike draws 2 cards. Over to Jack. So Rotigus is going to heal for 1. No, he's not. He's going to deal 1 damage, sorry. Because he's engaged. It's going to do 1 damage with Eyes of the Nine. There we go. Make sure you spin your quests. So we've got a Nurgle's Rock going into play. Rotates that Eyes of the Nine. So he's going to deal 5 damage. It's going to remove the Eyes of the Nine card. So the text on Eyes of the Nine is Jack gets to look at the top 3 cards. He gets to pick a spell and deploy it on any champion. And then he can put the rest of the cards back in any order on his deck. Now he's only got 1 other spell in his deck, which is a second Rejoice of Slaughter. So he's just rearranged the cards and popped them back on. Second action, Blood Fury Wrathmonger goes into play. 2 damage, takes 1 damage himself. Now Mike's feeling the effect of all that damage. Tides have definitely turned thanks to that Gaze of Nurgle and that Furious Strike. So Rotigus Rainfather, he's going to heal for 1. 3 damage with the Gorslick Skull Reaper. One blessing can change the game. So we've got Reckless Abandon going in. So it's going to trigger the last stand on that Gorslick Skull Reaper doing 2 damage. And then 4 damage coming from the Reckless Abandon. Puts Jack down to 6. And then we've got Demonic Fury. 2 damage to himself. But it does 5 damage to Jack. Jack is on 1. But that's Mike's 2 actions. So Rotigus is going to heal for 1, so that Blood Fury Wrathmonger under Rotigus will not kill himself like Chaos players have done in the past. He's going to do 2 damage to Mike and 1 damage to himself. So we've got Fury Strike going in. What blessing do we get? We get Expansive Gur, so all of Mike's champions are now dormant. Fury Strike goes off, doing 4 damage. Mike is down to 2. Followed up with a Fearless Coregrass doing 2 more damage, so that is game. Well done, Jack. You go into the second game 1 up. Okay, so the guys are just finishing deployment. Here we go. So Mike's got Rotigus Rainfather, Chaos Champion, a Blood Reaver Chieftain, and a Herald of Nurgle. And for Jack, we have Rotigus Rainfather, Chaos Champion, Blood Reaver Chieftain, and a second Blood Reaver Chieftain. So a slightly different setup. Rotiguses are pretty much going to be gaining health this turn, unless one of them manages to get a spell out. So Rotigus Rainfather is going to heal for 1. And then we have a Fearless Coregrass going into play for 2 damage. First quest done on that Blood Reaver Chieftain. Mike then draws a card. So I'm sure Jack has healed for 1. So there we go. So Fearless Coregrass going for 2. Rotigus Rainfather heals 1 himself. Then he draws a card. So Mike's go. So Rotigus, heal for 1. We're all used to this by now. Deals 1 damage. Rotigus will just soak that up next turn. Not really fussed about 1 damage coming his way. Mike deals, gives himself 2 cards. Rotigus Rainfather for Jack, heals 1 and deals 1 with the Fearless Coregrass. So is he going to match Mike by drawing cards, or is he going to start laying and start trying to put some pressure on him? No, he's matching him, so both players just filling up their hands at the minute. Mike heals for 1. Fearless Coregrass will go out, so Mike forgot to spin his champion. Jack's allowed him to do it. He doesn't have to, but these guys are very sporting. They're letting the cards decide and not the mistakes of the players. So we've got a Blood Fury Wrathmonger going into play for 2 damage. 1 damage to himself. For Jack, we've got Rotigus Rainfather. He's going to heal 1. Fearless Coregrass leave play. Follows up with the Gorslick Skull Reaper. 1 Ren damage. Does another quest on that Blood Fury, the Blood Reaver Chieftain. And then he follows up with a Blood Fury Wrathmonger of his own. 2 damage to Mike and 1 damage to himself. So Rotigus Rainfather heals for 1. Blood Fury Wrathmonger spins, deals 2 damage to Jack, and he takes 1 damage himself. If you guys are interested in seeing these players' deck lists, I'll add the link to the top 8 lists from this tournament, so you can check them out at your leisure. See which Rotigus you like the best. So we got a Gorslick Skull Reaper going into play. First quest done on the Herald of Nurgle. 1 Ren damage done to Jack. Got a second action to come for Mike. Or is he going to pass and draw? So we've got a Blood Hunt going into play. Fury Wrathmonger is removed from play. That will remove the Gorslick Skull Reaper, dealing 2 last damage back to Jack, and then Mike will heal 1 through Blood Hunt. So we got Rotigus Rainfather healing 1. Gorslick Skull Reaper will spin and do nothing. So Jack draws 2. Jack's got the advantage in cards. Rotigus Rainfather is going to heal for 1. Bloodfury Wrathmonger spins, does do 2 damage to Jack and does 1 damage to himself. Follows up with the Blood Hunt of his own. So he's going to remove the Gorslick Skull Reaper, but first of all let's see what's under there. We've got Unrivaled Battle Lust, so lots of damage potentially coming Jack's way. So he's going to remove that Gorslick Skull Reaper and deal 2 damage with its last stand. The Bloodfury Wrathmonger shouldn't have been removed, which they're just going back and checking, because the Gorslick Skull Reaper does 2 last stand damage, not like the Bloodfury Wrathmonger that removes the unit. Okay, if you want to get into the competitive side of Age of Sigmar Champions and the game against players who are reaching Platinum and Master, then join the online Heroic Tournament. It's all organised through Discord, and I'll leave the link in the show notes below. So, Mike goes in with the Fanatical Skullfiend, deals 1 damage to himself, but he's setting up for 6 damage next turn with the Unrivaled Battle Lust, so Jack heals for 1. Both players don't have a lot of removal. They can remove their own bits, but they can't really remove their opponents. I think they're only running 3 Blood Hunts. The rest of the card removal cards come in the way of Rejoice and Slaughter. Come in the way of Reckless Abandon and Putrid Offering and Nurgle's Rot. So they're removing their own cards and not their opponents. So Jack's got an opportunity strike. Let's see that blessing. We've got Gaze of Nurgle. Is he going to deal 6 damage or heal for 6? He's going to deal 6 damage this turn. And then he's going to do another 2 damage with opportunity strike. So he's taken the lead a little bit. We've got a Gorslick Skull Reaper going into play for 1 Ren damage. Rotigus Rainfather for Mike will heal 1. Going to take 1 damage from that Unrivaled Battle Lust. There we go. And then it's going to deal 6 damage to Jack. In total, 3 from the Skullfiend, and then with the additional damage from the Unrivaled Battle Lust. So, is Mike going to ping with the Blood Reaver Chieftain for another 4, or is he going to lay something? He hasn't got many cards in his hands. So he's taken another damage there for some reason. I don't know why. Bloodfury Wrathmonger goes into play. So that's another 5 damage. Takes 1 damage himself. There we go. And he's taken another one for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe the more eagle-eyed players who are watching this can leave a comment below. Tell me exactly what happened. And we have another Fanatical Skullfiend going into play. 1 damage to Mike. So setting up again for next turn with a big lot of damage thanks to UBL. So Jack's in a bit of trouble. He's on 12 and there's a lot of units out that are going to deal a lot of damage. So Rotigus Rainfather is going to heal for 1. Gorslick Skull Reaper hasn't helped him. It's going to do nothing. So Mike is on 15. So Clyde just stepped in there and said rotate your champion. He didn't have to do that. So Jack's just having a little think. He's in a bit of trouble. 5. So he's got at least 9 damage his way coming from units rotating. So that will put him on 4 left. The single ping from the Blood Reaver Chieftain won't kill him. It'll only do 3, so that will leave him on 1. So it's whatever card is in Mike's hand. So we've got Nurgle's Rot going into play. He's going to spin that blessing. What do we get? We get Outrageous Carnage. So it's going to do 4 damage to Mike. It's going to remove all the units in front of it and adjacent. The last stands are going to trigger from the Fanatical Skullfiends. So normally it'll be 2 damage, but he's getting 5 damage in return. So he's down to 3. The Bloodfury Wrathmonger will remove the Gorslick Skull Reaper. So Jack will deal 2 last stand damage to Mike, but Nurgle's Rot will not trigger because the unit is removed before the Nurgle's Rot chain gets to it. So puts Jack down on 3. That didn't go as planned. The Chaos Gods are a fickle thing, and they have not favoured Jack in that turn. So Jack's just regrouping, seeing what he can do. And he's called it. He's conceding. So that is game 2 to Mike. Well done, Mike. We go into the 3rd game. 1 game apiece. Who will Nurgle favour? We have Mike with Rotigus Rainfather, Chaos Champion, Blood Reaver Chieftain, and a Herald of Nurgle. And for Jack, we have a Blood Reaver Chieftain, Rotigus Rainfather, Chaos Champion, and the 2nd Blood Reaver Chieftain. So Jack's gone with a slightly different setup, and Mike's gone with the same. So we've got a Gorslick Skull Reaper going in for Jack, 1 damage. And he's going to draw a card. Rotigus is just going to heal that. There we go. Goes back to where he started. And lays a Demonic Fury. So 2 damage to himself and 5 damage to Jack. First quest done on that Herald of Nurgle. We have a Blood Fury Wrathmonger going into play. 2 damage to Jack, 1 damage to Mike. Rotigus is going to heal that. 1 health back. Gorslick Skull Reaper spins. Does nothing. He's having to think about it. Is he going to get that 2nd Blood Reaver Chieftain going? He is. So Fanatical Skull Fiend's going into play. 1 damage to himself. Draws a card. Mike's go. So Rotigus is now going to deal 1 damage because he's now engaged. Blood Fury Wrathmonger spins, does 2 more damage and then 1 damage to himself. 2 actions for Mike. We've got Furious Strike going into play, so that's going to be 4 damage. 3rd quest done, sorry, on that Herald of Nurgle. Is Mike going to draw a card or finish off and get that blessing? He's going to draw a card and wait. So we've got Rotigus healing 1. Fanatical Skull Fiend will deal 3, and that Gorslick Skull Reaper would deal 3. So a nice hefty 6 damage that turn. Rotigus is really going to feel that. So lots of quests being completed. So even though Mike played some hefty damage events, Jack's certainly caught up by playing sustained damage through his units. So we've got a Blood Hunt going into play. Blood Fury Wrathmonger leaves play. We'll take out that Gorslick Skull Reaper with its last stand, but then we'll deal its own last stand damage, dealing 2 to Mike, and then Jack will heal for 1. A 2nd Gorslick Skull Reaper goes into play, dealing 1 rend damage. So evens for health now. So Rotigus Rainfather will heal for 1. Mike hasn't moved his thing up though, I don't think. So Demonic Fury will go in for 2. And we get Spell Eater Curse. 4 damage to Jack. Not the blessing you really want to see against Chaos when there's no spells out. I certainly didn't want to see it during the event, and when it came out against me, that was game. Playing 2 wizards with 2 spells out, yeah, that was just Rotigus smashing me in the face. So the Demonic Fury dealt 2 damage to Mike and dealt 5 damage to Jack. So Jack's in the danger zone now on 10 health. But Mike's only got 2 cards. Jack's got 2 champions that are spinning to get blessings out. 1 more quest to do for that Blood Reaver Chieftain down below. Fearless Coregrass come out, do 2 damage. That puts Jack on 8. Rotigus Rainfather is going to heal 1 damage. It's going to go back up to 9. Gorslick Skull Reaper does none. So we've got Furious Strike going into play. Total Carnage, so that's good. So that's activated. So Furious Strike is going to do 6 damage. So now Mike is in a bit of trouble. How the tides can turn very quickly. So Rotigus Rainfather is going to heal for 1. Fearless Coregraphs are going to deal 1. So I'm not sure how many cards Mike's got. It's either 1 or 2. So there's a lot of damage coming Mike's way. There's 9 damage next turn. That's going to put him down to 3. So he's had to pull 2 cards. So Rotigus is going to heal himself. It's going to go back up to 8 health. Units are going to spin. That's 9 damage. So has Jack got anything in his hand to finish Mike off? So 1 event through Total Carnage will do it. There we go. Furious Strike, 6 damage. Well done, Jack. Jack Lambourne is the national champion for the UK for Age of Sigmar Champions. Well done. So the next set of games we're going to be doing is the Middlesbrough City Championship. So stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.